Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. I have Kira Golden, CEO of Direct Source Wealth with me right now. Broadcasting from Puerto Rico. Kira, welcome to the show.
Hi, it's nice to be back. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here. All right, Kira, why Puerto Rico investing for real estate? I mean, are there tax breaks? Are there opportunity zones?
Yes and yes, but those aren't the reasons. So I was going to steal someone else's quote, and I can't give them credit, but somewhere along the way, one of my mentors had mentioned, you don't want to invest strictly on tax credits. You have to invest because the underlying investment is quality. And so when we came down in 2013 and 14 and checked out Puerto Rico, I just saw a ton of opportunity. It reminded me a lot of what it was like investing in Phoenix in 2008, 2009. In terms of what was going on with their credit market here, the lack of liquidity, high cap rates, and great opportunity. And then when you layer on the tax benefits and opportunity zone and all that, it's just that much more attractive.
Kira, what about passive investing? Is it great for busy professionals?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, there's passive investing, and then there's people like me who like to be active. We like to be in charge and in control of what we're doing. But for most people, they're going to be doing that which they were either trained to do or love to do that brings income and brings value into their household. And so partnering with an active participant gives somebody director to real estate while also giving them the flexibility to focus on that which brings income into their household until such time as we can build that financial freedom day.
Okay. Multifamily real estate investing, give us the pros and cons on that.
I mean, like so many different things, there's timing, right? So it depends when you're looking in the market. I personally believe that it's getting harder to find multifamily opportunities. But when you can find them, there's such an incredible value add to a portfolio because number one, people are always going to need a place to live, right? Unlike storage centers where, people get rid of their stuff in a recession, or even shopping malls where people are going online in Amazon Prime or whatnot. People are always going to be living somewhere. So multifamily to me has a certain element of security because of that. Depending on what markets are doing in particular, that's why we move around. That's why we invest globally, because where that exact specific multifamily opportunity is does change over time and depends on the submarkets that we can get into that have strong cap rates and good cash flow.
What about opportunities and finding them in a hot market? Tell me about the markets that you see are hot right now.
Yeah, well, for example, we have a project in Denver. We have property and let me back up a step. What we define as a hot market, I mean, there's always places like New York, California, Miami, where people want to live and want to be. Those are truly, truly hot markets. But to me, they're too hot. They don't generate the kind of returns that we want to see because everyone wants to be there. We like to focus on steady returns in Midwest markets and undervalued markets where we can buy in, or where we believe we can buy in at a deep value. So we're looking at very aggressively in Puerto Rico, the Midwest. We participate in Arizona. So Colorado, growing markets, but markets that aren't quite in that very, very, very top echelon where everybody's flocking to that market and the yields just aren't there.
What's the range on the investment size that people would be looking at through your company?
Yeah, typically the initial investment's around $100,000, and our investors who've been with us for a while might do as much as $250,000 or $300,000 on a particular deal, and then occasionally, sometimes when someone's just starting out, they'll start at a little bit lower number just to kind of get to know each other. Kind of nice to have the opportunity and the flexibility to do that.
Now, you're familiar with syndication and team investing. Tell our audience about that.
Yeah, for us, it's a constant evolution and constant learning. It's a really interesting space to be in because it's important to me that we bring direct deals and direct opportunities to investors, and that we do that at economies of scale that is available to professional investors. And the only way that I have found that we've been able to get there is working together, like you said, as a team, co-investing, where we put our money, I put my money in deals, and I work aside other investors who we know and like and appreciate working with, who value the ability to be passive while we run the deal. And we can get that economy of scale and get a seat at the table with the big boys, so to speak. Whereas if I was just investing my own capital, we'd have, and if someone else was investing their own capital, we'd have to do much smaller deals. So it gives us the power to benefit from economy of scale and professional fee structures, professional managers. Which is amazing, because typically someone like myself or most of our investors wouldn't have access to that on our own.
Is there a reason that you've chosen Puerto Rico as a place to get started, the jumping off spot at this point?
Yeah. So for me, this is sort of another jumping off. I have been doing real estate since I was 18, and I've been in multiple markets. Puerto Rico really spoke to me because I feel like I have superhero goggles on when I'm here. It's like I can see the future. I say that a bit tongue in cheek, but the idea is that I've seen this story play out before. I've seen what happens when credit markets freeze. I've seen what happens when there's a number of REOs listed for sale online. And I know the systems and structures that it takes to ride through that recovery. And for some people, the jury's still out. But for me, I believe pretty strongly in the future of Puerto Rico, and that there will not only be a recovery, but that it'll be a good one. And so I just see a ton of opportunity here, and the systems and processes that are necessary to ride that wave of recovery. We've worked in before. We've worked in other submarkets like Arizona when Arizona took a big crash. It doesn't hurt that the weather's beautiful and that we can work year round, and my contractors don't have complaints about can't get in and mud the unit because it's 30 degrees outside. So we have a year-round work season.
Brilliant. Kira, I want to thank you for being a guest on our show, and I hope to have you back soon.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Great to see you again.
You too. All right, you've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.